Good evening and welcome to Complex Sportif CN here in Brossard, Quebec, home of the Flag Plus Football Division B Championship showdown between the number 1 seed, Mangoose, and the number 2 seed, Runner Wentz. I'm Brent Balkin, joined by my broadcast partner, Keon Cyrus, two-time All-Star, I should say, actually, Keon Cyrus. Big game today for all the marbles. Top 2 defensive teams in Division B. Runner Wentz with the top defense. What kind of game should we be expecting here? They had a regular season meeting, went 36-35 in overtime in favor of Mangoose.
I expect the same thing. Both top, like you said, top 2 teams in Division B, Running Ones and Mangoose, both finished with a 7-3 record. Both have explosive offenses, really strong defenses. Mangoose has the continuity that they've been playing together for the most part, adding parts to where they can. Running Ones, though, a team pure athletes all over the place. So I expect nothing but a close contest down the road.
So yeah, big game. A little confusion here in the booth. Walter Berry, the head official for this championship weekend, didn't sit them down that we were ready to play. Opening snap happened, but we're gonna have a redo here. So 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Runner Wentz in yellow starts with the ball. Here we go. Jeff Rosenblatt, the quarterback, gets the snap, throws to a snapper. Paul Lapierre taken out at midfield by Marvin Steinberg.
Again, first play for Jeff Rosenblatt. Paul Lapierre, one of the most reliable centers. Not the fact that he's also tall, but he has great sturdy hands there. And for Mangoose, they're going to have to figure out on defense how to maintain not only Paul Lapierre, but the rest of the star-studded receiver group.
Paul Lapierre in the FPF Hall of Fame. So last time these two teams met, Lapierre didn't snap. He actually played quarterback. Jeff Rosenblatt, the starter, wasn't there. Get to more of Lapierre's afternoon in a few minutes. Pass to Noah Groper. Groper gets tackled before reaching the end zone by Marvin Steinberg. So an aggressive attack so far here offensively early for Run It Once.
Again, it's a championship game for both teams. Both teams have had individuals that have been there before. And the big thing is, honestly, with their offenses, how can Mangoose's defense contain the firepower of this Jeff Rosenblatt-led passing attack?
Base formation, 2 receivers to the left, and Boubacar and Groper, 2 receivers to the right, and Greaves and Armand. Pass it to Lapierre. Touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like there was some miscommunication about whether Paul Lapierre got in, but no one deflagged him actually there, so he was able to walk in and reach forward for the touchdown.
So 3 quick plays and an easy score here for Mangoose. For Runner Once against Mangoose. Paul Lapierre, the Hall of Famer, adds to his legacy. First touchdown in the finals right here. In the last meeting, like I said, Lapierre went quarterback in replace of Rosenblatt. He went 15-30 for 190 yards, 4 TDs with 2 INTs. 2-point conversion attempts here. Pass to the back of the end zone. Greaves goes up and makes the catch. And they're saying, yeah, he's in bounds. So 8-0 lead early here for Run It Once.
I was glad to see Jalen Greaves able to make that grab as in the Division A finals. Unfortunately, he did have a stumble where he did leave the game for a bit, but continued. So it's nice to see that he's back in Division B playing for Run It Once and making that grab at the back of the end zone.
Jalen Greaves, his favorite receiver, DK Metcalf. So Mangoose, Nick Schaefer leads his team out to the field. Mangoose, of course, wearing their usual green jerseys. Schaefer gets the snap. He looks to his right now to the left. That's his favorite target, Thomas Couture, number 7. He's open on the sideline. Picks up about 9 yards right there, setting up 2nd and 1.
Yes, with the amount of seasons that Schaefer and Couture have been playing together, their chemistry has been unmatched. With the addition to Marvin Steinberg back to the squad of Mangoose, who leads the team with touchdowns. If not mistaken, he had over 550 yards, 20 touchdowns from Marvin Steinberg.
Yeah, the wide receiver of the year in Division B. Couture actually played quarterback the last time these 2 teams met. Schaefer was not available as well. Couture going 10-16, 102 yards, 3 TD passes, 52 rushing yards. He's going deep down the middle, and just off the hands of the receiver. That was Emilio Pelchat. He was open, number 20. We saw Bakari Barrett, the reigning defensive player of the year, number 7 there on your screen, come over to try to make a play. The ball went over his head, but Emilio Pelchat couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, Bakari Barrett, he is the reigning defensive player of the year, especially in the playoffs, had 3 interceptions in only 2 games that they have played for Run It Once. So I expect whenever the ball, especially is going deep, he's going to be somewhere lurking for an interception to make a game-changing play for Run It Once.
3rd and 1 here for Mangoose. Pass over the middle, right through the hands of Pelchat. So that's 2 plays where Pelchat couldn't get the grab. And again, Pelchat has been on fire so far this postseason. 5 touchdowns coming into this game. He only played 5 regular season games, but in every game, including the 2 postseason games that he's played, so that's 7 in all, he scored at least 1 touchdown in every single contest.
Yeah, so I expect, especially in this game, as it's been told by Schaefer that he trusts his receiver in Pelshot, so I expect him to be really involved in it, whether it's the short game or the deep ball.
I wrote an article earlier today about this matchup. You can read it on the flyplusfootball.com website. Pass over the middle, first down on 4th down. Nice catch there. So that was Gabriel Drapeau. He told me, so I thought it was Zogarski, his last name, pardon me. So he told me the correct way to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it here. Again, I talked to him maybe about half an hour or so before the game. So he goes, it's Zagorski. Well, I'm getting it wrong.
Perhaps. I think the Z is silent.
No, it's not silent.
No.
He goes, it's a combination of the Z and the G together. Hold on, I'm going to get it in a second. I wrote it down. Hold on. After this first down play right here. Zgorowski. There's Zgorowski, yeah.
Zgorowski.
The Z and the G are together, he said. Schaefer crossing route to Couture, breaks the tackle. Clermont finally brought down by Armand. I tell you what, Keon, it's good to see Felix Clermont in the lineup. He got injured last night, colliding with his teammate Emma Thompson-Aslane, who's actually playing in the women's B championship game coming up a little later here this evening. Those two collided. They were playing for the Co-Ed 2 championship last night in their game for Purple Blood, losing unfortunately 41-40 to Block Party here. So again, those two collided, I think just before halftime, I believe it was, and neither player returned to the game. Schaefer gets the ball. Schaefer pump fakes. Throws it. The ball bounces off the ground here. Head referee Leo Gervais saying it's an incomplete pass. Noah Groper, the rusher, feels that he got in there before the sack. Let's see now. Did he get there to make the sack? Let's look at least on the instant replay right here. So pump fake. No, yeah, he got the ball to his hand.
Yeah, he got it out there. It was very close for Groper. He did a mix of rushing last night in his Division D finals with Rick and Marty. So now his full-time position with this run-and-one's defense. So we'll see if Schaefer is able to get around them and make some quick throws.
Yeah, Groper, him and his team, Rick and Marty again beating the Snowden Deli Deegans last night for the championship. Pass to the back of the end zone. Collision made with post shot by Sanders Armand, falls incomplete. 4th down coming up now. 4th and about 4 yards here.
Yeah, that was a bit of an overthrown. I know Sanders likes the big game plays. A bit of contact there, but again, the ball was out of reach. Just maybe got to be careful there in case in the future you might get an unnecessary contact penalty if it was more inbounds.
So what does Mangoose have up their sleeve here offensively? Pelshot and Couture to the left of Schaefer. Simon Antil and Marvin Steinberg to the right. Snap. Schaefer looking to the left. He fires there. Catch by Couture. He is down, but he gets the first down. Tackled at a touchdown, I should say, around, I want to say, the 3, maybe 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great job by Couture getting down near the ground. As it was a low ball thrown, but again, only a position where he was able to get it, and then gives Mangoose a perfect opportunity to score. Marvin Steinberg being the red zone target with 20 touchdowns, so you definitely know that runner ones will keep an eye on him, but Couture is definitely an option there, or even Pelshot, who has 5 touchdowns in this postseason alone, as we mentioned earlier.
So ball actually being placed at the 4 now, but again, fresh set of downs here for Mangoose. Can they punch it in? Let's find out. Schaefer gets the snap. He looks right over the middle now, a bit to the right, throwing to the left, and wisely throws that one away out of bounds. No one was open, didn't like what he saw. Led the fight another down.
Yeah, he had Pelshot open for a brief second, but Greaves does cover a lot of air with his ability to jump and make big plays in the air for a pass. So it would have been near a perfect ball if it got to Pelshot, but honestly for Schaefer, throwing the ball away, not losing the yards there, and they could run it back with another play.
Second down now for the Mangoose offense. And Kiana's gonna, if you can't talk about this after this play, the size difference right now definitely in favor of running once past to the end zone. Steinberg, rare drop by Steinberg. He beat Boubacar in the out route, but couldn't hang on to the ball. Maybe he would have been tackled by Bakari, but maybe not. Maybe he would have got into the end zone, by Barrett rather. But he got a drop there by Marvin Steinberg, setting up 3rd down.
Yeah, so with this run-it ones not even just defense, but overall team, they're much bigger than Mangoose, more physical. I know guys like Sanders Armand, Ahmed Boubacar, Kari Barrett, and even Felix Clermont. You could just tell their size. They've been in the gym. They've played a lot. A lot of them have played tackle football in the past. So when it comes to any chance, even though it's flag football, they're gonna make sure their body's felt when it comes to making a play, either offensively or defensively.
And Jalen Greaves as well. Here's a pass over the middle. It's picked off. Sanders Armand with the INT. Tackled. Oh, tackled by Schaefer just around midfield. Huge turnover. Ball goes to run it once.
A perfect read by Sanders Armand there. And again, not a physical play there, but again, he's able to fight through the minor contact of just putting himself in front of the ball there and getting the pick, which it was intended for Zagorowski. Tell me if I corrected that. Zagorowski.
Yeah, it was for him. Yeah, Drapo. Yep.
So exactly, that is the right start that, again, a run-and-one offense would want. Or defense, my apologies.
Rosenblatt gets the ball just shy midfield. Rosenblatt looking to his left, not to the right. He has Greaves, one-handed catch there by Greaves. He braced on the right sideline. Can he get into the end zone?
Yeah.
Touchdown!
The Mangoose defense is arguing perhaps as Felix Clermont, who tried to be stationary, but it's possible if he moved or not. That's what they're arguing there.
You'll have to see here on the replay whether he was moving or not. Again, once the receiver, someone on your team catches the ball, you can't move, you can't block from him. You have to, like you said, be stationary right there, stand still. So you see Rosenblatt now being flushed backwards. He throws it to his right. Nice one-handed catch there by Greaves. Gets by one tackler. So, I mean, yeah, he was running. He wasn't really running. He was moving towards the sideline. I mean, it is a bit of a pick, let's be honest, but it wasn't super, super intentional. Again, the referee was right there. Sideline official was right there. He obviously didn't think it was a block. So, touchdown stands. 1-point combo attempt here for Rosenblatt and his team. Throw to the back of the end zone. Clermont leaps up, makes the grab. He is in bounds.
Yep, honestly, great play to the back of the end zone there, and Clermont using his height and his jumping ability to maybe question the fact that that should have been a pick play or not, but doesn't matter now. They scored, and he got the conversion there to give Run It Once a 15-0 lead early in this first half contest.
So the Sanders Armand INT leads to a touchdown for Jalen Greaves, and now, as you mentioned, Keon, 15-0 is the lead for Run It Once. Just under 9 minutes remaining here in this first half. Let's see if Mangoose can get on the board here offensively. Schaefer calls for the ball. He looks over the middle, batted up in the air, picked off again. Here comes Greaves now this time. He gets tackled by Shaw. Sanders Armand did not get the IAT, but he got a pass deflection right there, and Greaves came down with it. 2 consecutive plays offensively for Mangoose, 2 consecutive turnovers.
Yeah, honestly, I know Schaefer was looking in the middle of the field, but when you have the combination of Ahmed Boubacar, Sanders Armand, and Jalen Greaves there, it's tough to get it, especially when all of them are in the right headspace of, you know what, let's try to get this pick and everything. Now with run-on-ones, getting 2 interceptions in their past 2 drives, they're in full control of this game. And if they score now, it really puts Mangoose in a position where you might have to play a game where you don't want to at this point.
Of course, the biggest headline, and there are a ton of them in this game, but the biggest headline, of course, quarterback versus quarterback, veteran versus veteran. Neither QB has a championship. Jeff Rosenblatt does have one, but as a snapper, his quest to win a championship, and he has a deep ball here to Boubacar. Oh, pass off the hands of Boubacar. Great coverage right there, and a late flag here. Pass interference against the offense. Against Ahmed Boubacar. Great coverage there by Hakeem Casby-Filiatro.
Yeah, honestly, with Hakeem there, perfect coverage there, and it was a ball where Ahmed Boubacar couldn't really capitalize on unless, again, he was called for offensive PI, which is what was the case.
Yeah, and you see the push off right there. He tried to make it subtle, but the official was right there on the left sideline. A little small push in the back to Casby-Filiatro. So, again, leads to a loss of yardage right here.
Yeah, it is an interesting battle between Schaefer and Rosenblatt. Who's going to get their first championship as a quarterback, as, you know, the lead person of an offense? Whereas, like you mentioned, Rosenblatt did win one as a snapper. But, again, it's different when you're leading a team as a quarterback, controlling the offense when you can, and leading their team up to a championship. So one of them is going to get whatever that accomplishment tonight.
So here we go now after the penalty ball before midfield. Quick chuck over to Lapierre. So Lapierre there with the catch. He's tackled in the middle of the field there by number 2, Marc-Antoine Chaput.
Basically, Paul Lapierre runs roughly the same routes, just finding the open spaces. And for as a veteran as he is, being an FPF, a Hall of Famer in his own right, it's not that difficult for him just finding the right space. And plus, he has long arms, so he could reach for an extra yard or two, where that actually makes a difference when it comes down to it, when it comes like towards the end of the game.
Rosenblatt now getting the snap, looking to the right. Yes, Sanders Armand open, touchdown! Sanders Armand has been the player of the game so far, adding his first touchdown of the game. And now he extends the lead to 21-0 for his squad.
Yeah, Sanders Armand has been playing great with an interception, a pass deflection that led to another interception, as well as a touchdown now. He is quickly making his claim for MVP if Run-It-Once continues the momentum and wins this game.
So let's see now, 1-point convo attempt, looking to make it a 22-0 game here. Pass to the back of the end zone. Claremont does it again. He gets his feet in bounds. 22-0 is the lead for Run-It-Once with just outside of 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. And what a half has been so far for the team in yellow.
It's looking like a little bit of a trend with some of these teams that we've had today where like the back of the end zone's been really open, especially for conversions. Run-It-Once has proven that they've been able to score that with Grief scoring at the back of the end zone and there with Felix Claremont as well for the convert.
Schaefer leads his team onto the field. Quick pass to Steinberg over the middle. He's tackled almost immediately by Sanders Armand.
Yeah, I was speaking to Sanders as well before this game, and he was talking about the impact that Marvin Steinberg is going to have. As again, Marvin leads the team in every statistical receiving category, but so far hasn't had his presence felt too much. But it looks like Armand is shadowing him at least at this play.
Pass over the middle, batted down by Noah Groper. So Ken, I mean, we talk about the size and rightfully so about this Run-It-Once defense. We see Jalen Greaves saying good job to Groper. Groper got up in the air. Groper definitely the smallest man on his team by a large margin, but he came up big with a huge bat down right there.
Yeah, so for Noah Groper, yeah, you're right. He's not the tallest person, especially on this defensive lineup, but again, makes it where it counts, and he jumped the perfect throw by Schaefer to make that big bat down. As a rusher, if you're not getting the sack, that's the next biggest thing you get.
Schaefer flushed to his right, caught by Drapo. So Zgorowski, there you go.
Yes.
Zgorowski. Got it.
Yeah, honestly, Zagorowski got the first down there. Yep, it looks like they moved the chains there. And for Mangoose, yes, you're down 22-0, but again, taking every drive as you can. They're going to get the ball back in the second half, so it'll be really important they can score now and potentially get a stop and score again, make this much more closer than what it is now.
So Mangoose with the ball just past midfield. Schaefer going deep. Couture's open. Oh, and he couldn't snag that ball out of the air. Oh, that came ever so close, and Mangoose needed that again just inside of 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. But that goose egg is still on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think Schaefer might have just given up too much air on that because as much as Couture had his hands on it, he was basically at the boundary at the back of the end zone. So even if he caught it and he had longer arms, his foot might have dragged out of bounds there. So unfortunate for Mangoose that they weren't able to connect there. But again, that play was open.
There we go. Let's see now what Mangoose could do. Again, about 35 seconds away from the pro clock. In FPF, we have a pro clock at 2 minutes to go in the first half and 2 minutes to go in the second half. Pass to the sideline. Couture's open. Stays in bounds. Tries to stretch out the ball down at the 1. But first down, though, for Couture and the Mangoose offense.
Yeah, that's 2 plays in a row that like Couture's been not necessarily fully open, but enough where he doesn't need that much space to catch the ball there. And I know Bakari Barrett has been on his tail there, but it looked like it was almost like a comeback or a deep hook there. And as well as having number 21 and Emilio Pelshot that actually took away Bakari Barrett actually from coverage on Couture there to leave him open there. So now with Mangoose only at the 1 yard line, this is pivotal for them to score.
Let's see if they can here. Just as close as they've come. They got closer. They got almost as close earlier, I should say. Pass to the end zone. Agrees with the catch, and they're saying it is an INT. So another turnover there by Mangoose.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen Greaves was the one that picked that off.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Marvin Steinberg was open the back in the end zone, but Schaefer went towards the tighter window at the corner, and that is frustrating. I can see on Marvin Steinberg's face. As soon as that ball was thrown, he knew that he was wide open there.
And that's the thing. So I've played against Marvin Steinberg before, and I've watched him play a ton of games, countless games to be honest with you. And that's the thing, when he gets upset, sometimes it's hard to rein him in. He's passionate, it is what it is. You can't say he's not
Yeah, for
a
sure.
not a negative energy on the team, but when he gets mad, it's hard to kind of rein him in there. So you're gonna have to make sure his teammates gonna have to make sure he maintains his focus here. Sanders Armand with the catch, pick up of about 7, maybe 8 yards right there on first down.
Yeah, because Marvin is the engine, especially on offense throughout the regular season. Yes, Thomas Couture has been the focal point, at least in this game so far. But again, if Mangoose wins this game and comes back, Marvin Steinberg needs to be fully invested, which he is. Like you mentioned, he's very passionate in flag football. So I expect him to get over that, unfortunately, and just make another play, whether it's defense or on offense. But I expect him to be more impactful as the game goes on.
10 seconds remaining now on the play clock. Rosenblatt gets a snap. He goes to his left. Goes to the sideline. And Boubacar with the catch. Tackled by Casby Filiatro.
Yeah, with the clock running now, I think for run it once, you want to control the clock, which is what they're probably going to end up doing because they don't get ball back second half. But if you could give Mangoose a 28-0 hole, potentially, you feel much more comfortable than 22-0. So I think Rosenblatt is definitely going to control the clock to give them more of a chance to leave Mangoose with little to no time on the clock.
The ball exactly at midfield now for run and once. Lapierre with the snap. Rosenblatt looking left again. He goes there, hits Groper. Groper gets out of bounds before being tackled. So stoppage of the clock with 42.2 seconds remaining. Just looking quickly at how both teams got to this point. Mangoose beating the number 8 seed Les Verts fall 33-19 in the quarterfinals. And they turn around and beat Shake and Bake in a classic this past Monday by a score of 53-47. Run and once beating the number 7 seeds Silent Ticklers 35-21, and then knocking off the 4 seed Idaho Eye the Pimps in the semifinals 36-20. Pass to the end zone, falls incomplete.
Yeah, both teams had really interesting ways of getting to the finals, but again, they both made it. Again, you don't really ask or question what's in front of you in terms of being in the finals. You're just there. So for these two top teams, they are the number 1 and number 2 seeds respectively. So they're proving that they deserve to be here. And so far for Run It Once at least, it's been working for them. Mangoose, yes, it's a 22-0 lead, but there's enough time where they could come back. They just have to get some stops.
And they need to get a stop here before it turns into a 28-0 lead here before the half. Pass over the middle. Oh, thought it was going to get picked off for a second. Good reach there by the big man, Paul Lapierre.
Yeah, I thought Marc-Antoine Chaput was there to get the interception there, but I don't know if maybe he felt that Paul Lapierre's reach was able to get that ball outside of him, so he went for the safe tackle there.
30 seconds of counting remaining here in the first half. Ball is at about the 10-yard line. Rosenblatt gets it, going to the right. Sanders Armand to the corner. Ball goes over his head and out of bounds. 20.4 seconds now remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, I think honestly for Rosenblatt, he has 3 receivers especially right now where he feels comfortable with the jump ball, whether it's Boubacar, it's Greaves, or Amon. One of them, they could each have the respective jump ball one-on-one. You have Paul Lapierre, who's finding every little gap in this Mangoose defense, and you have Noah Groper, who's quick. He knows how to get around defenders as well. So with 20 seconds left on the clock, how does Rosenblatt and offense go from here? But I expect them trying to find a way to score soon.
Rosenblatt gets the ball, goes to the right. Sanders Armand, does he get a foot in bounds? I believe the official saying he did. Maybe he got his toe in bounds.
Yeah, it was tough from at least our angle here. We might get a replay here to show it much clearer. But yeah, I think this angle might give us the case.
So Armand jogging to the top of his route. Goes up and catches the ball. Yeah, we can't see though. Can he get the feet?
Yeah, so even if Mangoose wanted to challenge, at least from the angle we're seeing, it would have been tough to. But credit to Armand for actually keeping his feet in balance if he did.
So Armand, 1 touchdown reception and 1 touchdown throw in the regular season meeting between these two teams. Pass off the hands of Greaves. A rare drop by Jalen Greaves right there. Lucky that wasn't picked off. 12.9 seconds now remaining on the clock.
Yeah, with the Mangoose defense, I'm a bit unsure how come, at least in their lanes concept, that they are backed up a bit much. Because if Greaves ran his route much shorter, he would have definitely just been able to be in the end zone. But the Mangoose defenders not really at the line. They're at their 5-yard line. That's where the line of scrimmage is. But it feels like they're backing up around 7-8 yards. So if Rosenblatt's receivers get to the pylon on the front of the end zone. It looks like they have space there unless Mangoose decides to tighten it up.
Rosenblatt awaits the snap. He gets it. He looks to his left, now to the right, corner of the end zone. Greaves catches it out of bounds.
The play was there, but again, he was out of bounds, unfortunately.
A big stop there by the Mangoose defense. They force a turnover on downs now. So they get the ball after own 5-yard line with 7.8 seconds now remaining on the clock.
Well, I mean, if there's any quarterback in FPF that could get a deep ball like this, it is Nicholas Schaefer. He does have Marvin Steinberg, Thomas Couture. Even if he gets it short, he has the ability. He might not be Emile Chateauvert with his dips, but he's very close to it. So they also have time to run 2 plays. They don't necessarily have to go for the deep shot right away. But again, all you want to do, especially, not give an interception with a chance for either a pick 6 or for runner ones to get a play out of it. So, but if I was Mangoose, especially with how backed up the runner one's defense is, I'd go quick to the sidelines.
Let's see what Mangoose does right here. Schaefer gets the ball. Looking. He throws deep over the middle. Caught by Couture. First down, just past midfield, about 5 yards past midfield. Timeout called by Mangoose with 1.2 seconds left on the clock. Clutch play by one of the leaders on this Mangoose squad.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they did call timeout there. I don't know if it was really necessary because they would have had one play, at least what it looks like from our clock, that it would have been. No?
Yeah, because it's not Division A, right? So it's not a first down doesn't stop the clock.
Nice turn.
In Division B. So not a smart timeout call. So yeah, this will be the last play here. You see the double zeros now on the scoreboard, at least here in Complex Sports of CN. And now at home, well now the clock at home now says 4 zeros as well. But this will in fact be the last play of the first half. Can Mangoose get a touchdown? Let's find out. Schaefer goes to the end zone. Antil's open. Sanders intercepted by Clermont.
That's 2 pass deflections by Sanders Armand, who have been picked off by his teammates. So big impact for Sanders Armand. He only has 1 interception on the stat sheet, but 2 big pass deflections that have led to interceptions.
So we hit the half. It is a commanding 22-0 lead for Runner Ones over Mangoose. Actually, I think Runner Ones might think there's another play, but I can confirm 100% that was the last play of the first half here. Again, 22-0 lead for Runner Ones. I mean, their defense has been phenomenal. Sanders Armand, I mean, he has 1 pick, right? He caused at least 2 or 3 others, right? I mean, for me, at least, he's the player of the game so far. We'll have to see what happens in the second half. But looking at Mangoose, though, I mean, again, it's not that they've been horrible on offense. It's just all the deep passes end up like just not working out for them. It's either they're overthrown and receivers miss them. There's a couple of drops, or they get tipped and they get intercepted. If you're Nick Schaefer right now, what are you telling your team, and how do you get back on track offensively in the second half?
So it's hard for them to, for any team that's down 22-0 in a championship game to not panic. But again, it's 22-0. They get the ball back in the second half. If they score, it's a 22-6 lead deficit at minimum, unless they get their conversions. Keeping it simple. They need 1 or 2 stops, which if they start building up momentum, it might cause run at once to potentially lay back on the gas or potentially get an interception on their end. So keeping it simple, I think it's very important and key to get a touchdown on this drive coming out the second half. Take your time. Don't take too much time off the clock, but with 20 minutes of FPF flag football for them to play, I don't think it's out of the realms for them to come back. It's just they need to stay more composed, especially on offense, finding what's working, finding the open man, because they have had open guys on different routes, and Schaefer just hasn't been looking that way. And again, you've been using Thomas Couture a lot, which has been working, but with Marvin Steinberg, hasn't had too much of an impact so far in the first half. I expect him to maybe, even if it's some hooks, allowing him to use his hips and dips. I know the tackling from Run At Once has been really great so far, so test them out a bit more. So, and I expect, again, all the other pass catchers from Mangoose to step up as well when their name is called.
All right, switching over now from the Mangoose offense to the Runner Once offense. I mean, they've made big plays when they've been there, but we saw again towards the end of the first half, they had a turnover on downs, kind of the one blemish on the performance so far. What did they have to do to kind of maintain the majority of the momentum that they gained in that first half?
It's been a lot of their defense, and I think that's for them, if they continue to win off, it's going to be continuing exploding on defense, whether it's from picks, sacks, or even pass deflections from like Noah Groper at rusher. And then on offense, keeping it simple, especially if your defense is still locking down Mangoose and shutting them out. So I would expect their offense to kind of calm it down, especially if their defense is continuing to get more stops.
So the dynamic duo of Thomas Couture, two-way player of the year in Division B, and obviously wide receiver of the year Marvin Steinberg, combined for 26 touchdowns in the regular season. Finish my thought after this play. Schaefer going over the middle. Caught right there by a snapper, taken down by Felix Clermont. A gain of, let's call it 6 yards there on first down, setting up now 2nd and 4. Yeah, and in the postseason so far, Steinberg 3 touchdowns, 2 for, for Couture. And that's been their top offensive duo, but they've been held in check pretty much this entire game.
Yeah, credits to runner ones for that.
And Couture with the catch right there, tackled by the defensive player of the year, and Bakari Barrett.
And again, for Mangoose right now, keep the ball moving like they've been doing. Again, it's only been 2 or 3 plays, but that's what they want better. They need to build momentum short by little. They could take a deep shot if it's open, but it looks like that the run it once defense has been shutting it down, especially deep.
Drapo Zglarski with the snap. Schaefer running off his back foot. Throws it incomplete. He's lucky there. Jalen Greaves, number 2, was lurking in the area.
Yeah, Marvin Steinberg, I know he was running like either a deep drag or in there. Was open for a brief moment, but Noah Groper using his speed to get to Schaefer to cause him to make that off-balance throw.
In a regular season meeting between these two teams, again, Paul Lapierre threw 2 INTs. One of them, that's 2 of them actually, I should say, were ran back to the house. One by Marvin Steinberg, the other by JJ Fortuna. And that played a big role in the win for Mangoose. Nice tackle right there in the open field by Armand on Emilio Pelcha on the crossing route there. And two pick sixes played a big role in the victory for Mangoose over Runner Once, again 36-35 in overtime back in week 7. But it's been a bunch of interceptions today deciding the contest in favor, at least up until this point, for Runner Once.
Yeah, they've been Runner Once has been especially active on the defensive end. Even there, Sanders Armand made that tackle for like a 2-3 yard gain, so it makes it 3rd and long for Mangoose.
Schaefer gets the ball, a little fast over the middle, and it's picked off. Ahmed Boubacar. So that pass is a tricky one right there. It was a fastball, so the receiver had to jump up to get it again. That was the snapper, the number 1, Drapo Zagorowski. And the ball went pretty much, as you can see on the replay, off his hands or off his chest, went into the waiting hands of Boubacar, who makes the INT.
That's unfortunate for Mangoose because they were having momentum, a bit of momentum there marching down the field, and unfortunately it went off the hands of Drapo Zagorowski. So with Run It Once getting the ball with roughly 17 minutes left on the clock, again, they're in full control of this game. It's basically their game to lose at this point.
Drapo Zagorowski, again, not having to jump to make that catch, and that's a mistake a lot of receivers make. They think they got to jump, especially when his body's around them. That's why you got to keep your feet on the floor. We see now from defense to offense, Groper, the snapper, obviously, the slot receiver, I should say, for Runner Once with a pickup of about 7 yards there on first down, now setting up a very manageable 2nd and 3 for Runner Once.
Yeah, I think with Run It Once, again, taking their time, not rushing it and not making any risk. They play very conservative at this point. They control the clock, so I would expect that from Rosenblatt to play that type of game. I expect a lot of potential catches to Paul Lapierre, who's been able to be really reliable on those short yardages.
Rosenblatt gets the snap. He goes to his quick slant there by Clermont. Clermont gets tackled by Chaput, not before getting a first down.
Yeah, try to do his interpretation of the dips. He got very low there for someone that got pretty banged up yesterday. So credits to him for being able to be back in this game today, making a play there and even getting an interception late in the first half.
So congrats to the Braves winning the Division A championship. They knocked off the Infantry and then winning the 5v5 competitive division championship, knocking off the Raw Dogs. So the Braves, Mike Pearson, James Drysdale, Joe Mahieu, J.D. Chevalier and the crew adding more titles to the resume. Touchdown, Sanders Armand. Speaking of resumes, Sanders adds another one to his, and they extend the lead now 28-0.
Yeah, it looks like they sent Paul up here as a center as a seam, which gave Marvin Steinberg a tough decision between the go routes on the far end, which was Sanders Armand, who made the catch right before the out of bounds. So with Sanders, 2 touchdowns.
Yep, 2 touchdowns, an INT, a couple of pass deflections.
He's doing it all.
Yeah, one-man show so far. 1-point conversion attempt now, looking to make it a 29-0 lead. Trying to West. Oh, and Rosenblatt fumbles a snap. Rosenblatt with a scramble to the left to pick up the ball. Didn't work out. That was all for naught. But It made us laugh at least. It made me
Yeah,
laugh.
no, for sure, 100%. Again, if that's the only bad moments from running once this game, honestly, it was a worthwhile for them. So, again, 28 nothing. They feel very comfortable, which is great. But again, it's Division B. These teams could come back firing with offensive in a hurry. So, still gotta keep your head focused in the game. It's still 14 minutes left in the game.
I think for Jeff, if that's the only time he has to run this game, he'll be happy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think he wants to sit on his chair.
Schaefer now gets the ball on first down. He's going deep over the middle. Grant, oh! I thought that was going to be intercepted. That ball went through the hands of Grant and Pelshaw, the intended target.
Yeah, Bakari Barrett had a chance there. He either mistimed it or it was just a perfect deep ball, and Emilio Pelshad, unfortunately, wasn't able to get the grab there, which could have been because of the fact that Bakari Barrett was actually in his presence too.
Had a chance to speak to Sanders Armand about an hour before the game, and he was saying, listen, the game plan today is just be smart, he said. Don't change anything they do, especially defensively. He goes, if we could make Mangoose play our game and play how we want to play, he goes, we're going to win for sure. And so far, he appears to be right. He said offensively it's easy. You get a first down every 10 yards. He goes, there's no reason his offense should be stopped. Pass, oh, almost picked off by Barrett.
Yeah, 100%. Look at Sanders Armand looking at us at the commentary booth. But he's right, though. As long as they keep playing their game, they have all the talented receivers and DBs on the squad to win this Division B championship. Bakari Barrett almost could have had a near pick six there if he was able to pick it off. But again, it was a tough play. But again, they've been making plays all around this defense. So they just got to keep it up and force Mangoose to make throws and plays that they feel maybe are uncomfortable.
Intended target on that pass was Japo Skorowski. There you go, I got it. Pass over the middle, tender for the snapper, falls incomplete, and the hill is that much bigger to climb now. 4th and long facing the Mangoose offense. I'm interested now, Keon. So we see Hakeem Casby Filiacho. Again, he's played with both of us on the commission in Division C. I don't know. I've known him for over a decade, and he's an underrated offense. He's a great defensive player. Don't get me wrong, but he's an underrated offensive player. Has great hands, has speed. I know he's a little frustrated at times. He's told me that Mangoose doesn't play more on offense, but now he has a chance. He's lined up against Felix Clermont at the wide receiver position, obviously to the right of Schaefer. Let's see if maybe Casby Filiacho can get a pass thrown his way. Big 4th down coming up here. Schaefer gets the snap. He's looking to the right. Steinberg makes the catch, stays in bounds. First down, Mangoose. And boy, did they need that one.
Yeah, that was a really great toe-tapping catch on the boundaries. Hakeem was actually open there on the go if Schaefer looked further. But I think, honestly, for their own sake, they needed to at least make sure they got the first down. And even though Hakeem was wide open there, I don't think any safety for Redwood Woods actually followed him, but kudos to Mangoose. They got the first down, and now for them to score. But I will keep my eye on Hakeem because, like you said, he is very underrated.
Hakeem is open deep, pass to Hakeem back in the end zone, and that's out of bounds. He was open. You're right. Felix Clermont was playing the linebacker position, and he was staying down short. Sanders Armand, safety coming over the top. If Schaefer gets a ball thrown on more of a direct line, that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, 100% there. Hakeem has been hugging the sidelines really well for the minimum amount of routes he's been running, especially in the second half. But Schaefer has him there, so it's going to be up to. I know Sanders Armand is quick, but again, that's a tall task to ask if you are delayed running as a safety there, especially if he's lined up in front of Marvin Steinberg.
So 2nd down now from around midfield. Slant route caught by Couture. Tackled though after a gain of about a bit more than that actually. Let's call it 7 yards right there by Couture. Tackled by Greaves.
Yeah, a bit of cushion there from the defense from run at once there, which allowed Couture to get more yards than we anticipated. But again, there's just under 11 minutes on the clock, and Mangoose needs to score now. So
let's see if they can.
Yeah.
Schaefer gets a snap. He looks to his right, goes to the corner again. Casby Filiacho, the ball was over his head and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was good defense by Felix Clermont. Again, it was a high ball too, where even for Hakeem, at the speed it was running, Schaefer has a direct. That was more of a direct compared to the goal route earlier. But still, Clermont played the boundaries really well. That even if Hakeem caught that, he probably would have been out of bounds.
Let's see which all-star can make a play. Will it be Couture? Will it be Steinberg? Again, the Mangoose offense needs some type of spark right here. Pass to the left-hand side, cut by Couture, gets out of bounds. First down, Mangoose, they keep this drive alive.
And that was a nice route. It looked like it was an in-out for Thomas Couture right there. And again, time's ticking, but Mangoose is at least finally building momentum. This is probably the first time in a while, or at least all game, that Mangoose has felt that they've been able to move down the field, at least with their offense.
Ball just shy of the red zone at about the 9-yard line. Pass to the left corner. Steinberg was open, but the quarterback couldn't connect.
Yeah, Jalen Greaves read that perfectly. It looked like Marvin had a bit of space there, but Greaves backed up just enough where even if the ball was low enough for Marvin Steinberg to reach, Greaves was in proximity where if Marvin actually caught that, it would have been mainly if Greaves missed time to jump there. I think it's
Yeah, second down.
down.
Yep. Second down right here. Ball again at the 9-yard line. Schaefer can run if he chooses to. Quick slant to Couture. He catches it. Tackled by Bubakar. Let's see where they place this ball here.
Yeah, it looks like it's to be placed like around the 2 or the 1. Again, this is bread and butter for Marvin Steinberg for a potential drag. So I know Sanders was talking to me about that in the red zone for Marvin Steinberg, especially running drags and in outs. So let's see if that is something that he focuses on more, or is it going to be another Mangoose receiver be on the receiving end of a touchdown?
Let's see what Schaefer has up his sleeve here. Big play right here for the offense. Going looking for their first score of the game. Schaefer looks to his right now. Looks over the middle. Pass. Knocked away by Barrett. Fourth down coming up. Fourth and goal from the 2-yard line for Mangoose.
Yeah, great rush from Noah Groper. He's making Schaefer make these off-balance throws. Yes, Schaefer is much taller than Groper, but the fact that he's throwing off his back shoulder with one leg, basically no balance, it's tough to make those throws. And with the defenders that Run It Once has, it's not that easy. Marvin Steinberg, again, he was a bit open at the back in the end zone, but I don't know. Schaefer hasn't looked towards him, especially at that point in the end zone. But it's fourth down now, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna have they have to score.
Let's find out if Mangoose could do exactly that. Schaefer gets the snap. He looks to his left, looking over the middle, right to the hands of two players, Steinberg and Jabo Zagrowski. Heartbreak once again close to the end zone for Mangoose, but they cannot convert. Turnover on downs, 28-0 is still your lead here. 7.5 minutes and counting remaining here in the second half.
That is very unfortunate. Marvin Steinberg would have had a touchdown there if he was able to connect. And even Trapo Zagorowski could have had that. But again, it was tipped initially by Steinberg. I don't know, maybe it was the ball had too much juice in there by Schaefer. He has a strong arm. And that was maybe a 6-yard pass considering how backed up he was. So, but regardless, again, receivers, you have two receivers that have a hand on it. It's a heartbreaker there.
So right now for your one-on-ones, what do you have to do to kind of put the nail in the coffin of your opponents?
You could score, but like if you want to really go quick, you score on like a first play. But again, or you take as much time on the clock and slowly move the ball, which they've been proven to do. So if you want to be risky, then take the conservative route. But just scoring would basically put the nail in the coffin.
So Rosenblatt takes a conservative route right there. Quick out route to Jalen Greaves.
And again, and if for Mangoose to make a comeback, it's tough. It's 20-0, but they're gonna probably play more aggressive. If you see that they're not playing as aggressive, you kind of know basically the mindset that they have if they're accepting defeat, which I don't think that's be the case. I still think they'll be playing with pride. So at the end of the day, you don't want to give Mangoose an opportunity to capitalize with an interception if you're run at one. So I think playing conservative, you have the clock on your side.
Quick little pass. Oh, Bubakar bobbled it there for a second, but he's able to re-get it. He gets tackled by Cassie Filiacho. Shot put in there as well on the tackle. Of course, we talked about earlier again, throughout the game, I should say again, Marvin Steinberg, Receiver of the Year, Bakari Barrett, Defensive Player of the Year, Thomas Couture, 2A Player of the Year. Marc-Andre Rees, who we saw a little bit earlier with Legions, leading them to a 5v5 intermediate championship. He was a Quarterback of the Year. Sam Anastasopoulos, Rocco Cristiano, Mark Desor, closing out your All-Stars here for Division B. So congrats to all those players, all well-deserving of the All-Star nods that they got this year. Rosenblatt going to the sideline. DeSanders made the catch. I believe he did, but just shy of the first down. A pickup of about, I want to say 8. Yeah, maybe 8.5. Yeah, it's called 8 yards right there.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Armand. Very risky, actually, by Rosenblatt to make that throw as the defender of Mangoose. I can't tell who it was. It was number 14, so it's Simon Antil,
Yep.
who has had his great Mangoose moments with the squad. If he was a step there, it could have been a pick 6 potentially, but great job actually for Rosenblatt at throwing it out of bounds to the boundaries, and Sanders for keeping his feet in bounds.
Rosenblatt now with his offense with the ball. Just past midfield. Oh, power almost picked off. Thomas Couture puts his hands on his face. He can't believe the gift he just wasted right there. Rosenblatt was throwing a pass right there to Lapierre, right to the chest of Couture. And that has been the Achilles heel of Jeff Rosenblatt. Every year he puts together phenomenal rosters, and this year is no different, right? With the team he has on the field right now, again, up 28-0 over Mangoose. But he throws these back-breaking interceptions at times, especially in big games. He almost had one right there. Mind you, if the pass gets picked off, let's say Couture runs into the house, it's a 28-7 lead. But still, you don't want to give too many gifts to your opponents.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the way that he's been playing. Fortunately for him, Couture wasn't able to catch that. So can't be doing that too much times though in this game.
Ball off the hands of the slot receiver to Noah Groper. Fourth down now coming up. So here's a chance for Mangoose. They can cause a turnover, get the ball back. Let's see if they can score it quick.
It would be funny if we were to see a Jeff Rosenblatt run here, but I mean,
That'd be great.
I probably have to bet house money that won't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, watching Rosenblatt run, pardon me, it's like watching like Tom Brady run the ball. It's something you're going to see maybe once every couple of years.
Again, with fourth down conversion for Mangoose again, it's now or never. I expect, honestly, for this run at once, Paul Lapierre to be open, or at least finding an open gap there. So let's see. Mangoose is playing with a tighter coverage.
Rosenblatt gets the snap. He's going deep. Graves over the middle. He has him. Good enough for the touch, for the first down, rather. Tackled by Casby Filiatro.
Yeah, his first read was Paul Lapierre there, as for good reason. But as soon as he was covered, Jalen Graves ran the over-top slant that was able to be reached up. Thomas Couture did jump up and almost had a hand on it, but Rosenblatt was able to float it right over for Greaves for the first down.
So if you're the Red Wings offense, what are you calling here to make sure you get the ball into the end zone?
Well, you're at the 9, so I wouldn't necessarily say you would have to get into the end zone. But again, it's been working with either having a one-on-one. It looks like Armand is on the field. You have Greaves in the slot and Groper out wide. You have Claremont in the slot on the left, Boubacar on the left as wide. Honestly, don't even have to go into the end zone right away. You still want to milk clock, so even something short as hooks or getting Paul up here open. But it looks like everyone's going down. Yeah, Felix Claremont for the slant.
Okay, does he get into the end zone, though? No, he's tackled at about, let's call it the 2-yard line.
Yeah, he reached, but it was a bit too late. He got tackled by Seymour until there. I would say for the run-and-one offense, maybe they want to have fun. Maybe throw a jump ball at Boubacar, Greaves, or whatnot. Just something to maybe to have them laugh about. But at the same time, too, for Mangoose, they don't want the score to get worse than what it is. So I expect them to play hard defense until the end anyways.
Chance now again. About 2:10 and counting away from the pro clock here, but pro clock won't be called here. Obviously, again, if it's more a 15-point lead or more, the pro clock gets eliminated. Time keeps on running basically. Quick slant to Groper. He's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the icing on the cake. Pro clock is running. It is a 34-0 contest. I think they're debating, and it looks like it is over. Leo Gervais did whistle it.
Oh, there you have it. A 34-0 win. Run It Once runs their way to the championship with a 34-0 win over Mangoose. Congrats to Run It Once. A dominating victory from beginning to end. They led wire to wire in this one. And I can't lie, Keon, I mean, I write for this division. I know you write for Division A. I write for Division B. I thought this game would be a lot closer. Was I expecting another overtime showdown? No, not necessarily, but I figured it'd be a little closer than a 34-point spread.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, you've been writing the Division B articles. I've been keeping up with those, and especially from the last matchup, yes, both quarterbacks in Rosenblatt and Schaefer weren't there at that game, but it went to overtime, and I didn't expect a 34-0 victory for Run It Once. It just didn't seem like that the Mangoose offense especially was kind of connecting. They had a few drops there, but also credits to Run It Once with their defense. It was 4 or 5 interceptions there that they got, especially in the first half, where it just made it much more of a deficit for Mangoose to even try to come back from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, it's hard to win a game when you have turnovers, right? And I mean, Mangoose had three interceptions in the first half. They had another in the second half. Of course, talking about quarterback Nick Schaefer. The offense just seemed to be out of whack, pretty much from the opening whistle, definitely all the way to the end. Heartbreak, obviously, for Mangoose. So players like Thomas Couture, Nick Schaefer, Simon Antil, Gabriel Drapo Zgorowski, got it right. All those players who don't have a championship for Mangoes. Again, a lot of that core has been together for a long time. Unfortunately for them, championships is something they have to track down, something they have to win. It's not going to happen today. Again, obviously losing 34-0. Where do you think? My question after all that is, where do you think this team goes from here?
So that's the thing. They've been together for a few seasons now, a few years now, and they've made it far in a lot of seasons, but like they haven't come off to the point that they've gotten over the hump of this championship drought. So I don't know, maybe you have to change some guys around, but it's tough because especially if you've been playing with the guys for like seasons now, it's like how do you tell like a close friend perhaps that like, you know, they gotta move along. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, they had a Marvin Steinberg back this year. They're going to have to try and add some other pieces to close that gap. We'll see what they can do. We're going to shoot it down to the field for the trophy presentation. So now Mo Khan, who's in the building, is going to present Jeff Rosenblatt with the championship trophy and game MVP.
Brent, all right, it is now time for the presentation of the MVP, the banner, and the trophy presentation to the Division B champions. Run it once. All right, quite the excitement here with Run It Once on the hand clap here. All right, team captain Jeff Rosenblatt, I guess owner too.
Yeah, I guess.
This is a weird situation.
It's a weird one, yeah. It's a bit weird. Yeah.
All right, first and foremost, we're going to present to you the trophy right here. Congratulations, Jeff.
Let's give it. That's for the boys. That's for the boys.
I think that's IGA water that you got doused with. All right, Jeff, let's talk about this here. This is a loaded team that you have assembled from A to B.
Yeah.
It felt like from jump to present, this team was untouchable for the most part of the season.
I mean, it felt that way. Offense was running very smooth, but obviously, I mean, a shutout in the finals, you gotta give it up to the defense. We had the best defense in the division, and we felt confident every game. So, what can I say? I mean, very happy with how the season turned out.
What goes through your mind winning this trophy at this level?
Well, I've been in the league 15 years, and this is my first championship as a quarterback, so it feels pretty good. But honestly, this is one of the greatest teams I ever played on. Great guys, amazing defense, and offense did its job, so we're happy. We're pleased.
Well, I got to present to you the banner. So here's the team banner right there. And maybe Patty Mahomes over here. All right, it is now time for the Division B MVP, and that goes to the Armada, Sanders Armand. All right, Sanders, I've seen you be emotionally unstable on the field sometimes. You're a Pisces indeed. I am a Libra, but that's a different story for another day. What goes through your mind winning the championship and also to be MVP?
I know it's more of a team effort over here. I wouldn't do it without my dogs. You know, no AB calling the plays, Jalen ball hawk, Bakari ball hawk, Noah rushing the fuck out. Ooh,
That's okay. You can
Noah rushing the quarterback is PG. Felix on the dog too. You know, so it's easy like that. You know, I just roam around and AB makes it easy on me.
Was there a moment in the season? Was there a moment in the season that you said, "Yeah, we're going to win the ship"?
Oh, when I seen the roster, when Jeff said like, oh, I see Jalen, I see Bakari, and then we added AB second week of the season. I'm like, yeah, for sure, we're winning the championship. And we have like Paul, you know, OG Paul. Yo. So yeah, it was just a matter of getting the chemistry down and like getting ready for the season, getting ready for the playoffs, and making our playoff run. That's about it. Yeah.
Is this the best Division B team ever in spring season?
I mean, 34-0. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Sanders. Congratulations, guys. Back to you, Brent and Keon in the booth.
All right, so welcome back here. Obviously, you see Mo Khan on the field, just presented the championship trophy to Run It Once. MVP of the game, Sanders Armand. And I mean, Keon, I think it's pretty safe to say we both agree with that selection.
Yeah, 100%. Sanders Armand had 2 touchdowns on offense, 1 pick on defense, but he also had 2 big pass deflections that led to interceptions. So again, he assisted on basically, or was part of 3 interceptions. So a complete 2-way game from Sanders Armand, well deserved.
So Jeff Rosenblatt, right? That was one of the storylines. Who's going to win their first championship? Will it be Nick Schaefer or Jeff Rosenblatt? So now Jeff Rosenblatt, who's been in the league since 2013, obviously bought in the league now a couple years ago for Rod Campana. Finally, the wait is over for Jeff. He is a champion as a quarterback. Again, he won one as a snapper back with Legends a few years ago, but again, the 12-year wait to win one as a quarterback. So congrats to Jeff. A well-deserved title. Again, 34-0 blowout victory over Mangoose. Keon, final thoughts?
Again, I didn't expect as a pure domination, especially on defense for Run-It Ones, but they won the championship. So they played a really excellent game, especially defensively, and their offense did whatever it needed just to get the job done. Unfortunately for Mangoose, it wasn't the way that they wanted to end, but again, a 7-3 season is something to shy away for, but they're going to be still in the hunt for their first championship, especially for Nicholas Schaefer.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, congrats to Run-It Ones. They run all the way to the championship again, 34-0 over Mangoose. Coming up next, we have the Co-Ed 1 Division Finals matchup between the number 1 seed, The Merge, and the number 3 seed, Lego My Flag. Lori Willette, who you guys have seen all day long calling games for us, done a phenomenal job. She plays for The Merge, so obviously she's trying to win another championship, add a third one to her resume. So good luck to both teams. Great game coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.